Father's Day. I was just at grocery outlet. I was talking to this Indian bagger lady, and she speaks different dialects of Indian language. Like there's Hindi, and we're talking about Bollywood. How I was asking questions. Okay, do you like a lot of the American stars more now? And I know that American culture has ingrained in Indian culture, and I got this Columbus, of course, salami, and I eat a lot of spicy. I like spicy food. And I used to drink underage drinks, so ginger, and I love ointments, and I take supplements, and I take care of myself far more than I did in my younger years. Like she's from India, so Hinduism is usually the religion, but she became a Christian and she's like, "Oh, tomorrow's Father's Day. We're gonna do their Father's Day. When my sister's coming over, I vacuum. She's coming with my brother-in-law." And I was thinking about how, Johnny, my first boyfriend, how can you forget your first guy you dated? Like, I did not date in high school. I was 19, and my sister Gina had married around 2008 to Andrew, an Australian guy. And Johnny was like living in National City area. He had to move into a different house because his dad had died of lung cancer, and he was a smoker and drinker, drinking a lot of Jack Daniels and living with his brother and his mom and helping with rent and paying for things, doing retail jobs, working at music stores. Music stores were the thing then, CD shops. And where he gave me a Veins of Jenna CD. And I had never had a boyfriend, okay? This was my first, and I got to know Shayna and Chris as friends, and Shayna, she had already been in a shotgun wedding now at this time and was living in an apartment with a kid from his previous relationship. Chris and her were together before that, and she had attempted suicide and ruined her stomach drinking poison because things got all emotional, and she was attached to him from high school. And he doesn't do well with relationships, he was telling me, and he's a musician guy, more heavy metal, with a head shave, long hair, into heavy metal music. And I would go into like her apartment, and they were cheating. She was cheating on her husband with him, and I could tell she kind of wanted him back, but at the same time, he didn't really want a relationship. He had his eye on another girl named Jessica from Sweetwater High School. This beautiful Mexican girl, gorgeous. She looked like Kate Bush kind of, but even prettier, with like really nice Mexican skin, like, and her teeth, like she would wear the vampires or wear the eye contacts, and like Evanescence and like The Cure, and her hair was like kind of thick and dark and chopped in bangs and different colors, and like to go to like medieval like fair kind of things. She was real, different, like him. And he didn't really want to go back with Shayna at the time, I remember. But Shayna kind of did more. We went to the beach, and he was all, he wanted her. This is the girl he wanted to marry. Like, he bought her a necklace, like a really nice gothic, like diamond, like black bead necklace. And he's like, she was dating this Australian guy at the time from Australia, and I knew they were going to be together, but he was jealous, I remember. He was jealous because he's like, that's Jessica was for him. And Johnny eventually did marry, and he married a Hispanic girl that speaks Spanish. And it's good because his mom didn't know good English. And they speak like the Puerto Rican dialect because they're Puerto Rican, Mexican, and a little black, so his hair's real thick and curly. And we would go to Chris's room and drink, and he would play the guitar, and Johnny was a bassist, so we would watch a lot of like concerts on DVD, and that we would go to shows. And before you know it, I was in it. I really fit in. And he even had a real serious man-to-man conversation that he never had a girlfriend, like he never had a girlfriend where it was like this. Like he liked me, and even his like friend liked me. Like, I was the only girlfriend he had that he really liked. And that then I shrugged it off like, that's nice, whatever. But he was serious. Like, he really liked me. And Shayna was trying to butt in and get us to be together more officially. And I don't like when people butt in like that. This girl was more malicious and rough, and I could tell experienced at relations. I was not. And we went on a drive, and she's like, "Shut up, no talk," and it was, or I won't get this pizza, and was like, "Oh, Chris and John are my lefty and my righty," and he really wants to be with you. And he even like lost weight for me, trying to look better, and was all like wanting a really serious relationship. Even after 6 months, I was waiting it off. Like, maybe we should think about things and we'll, see where it goes. And she was all trying to butt in, like, you go and be with him, you do this and don't, like, and he was actually pursuing me and inviting me places. And I wasn't sure yet if this is really meant to be, and putting our, we saw things differently, like very differently. And I could see like there's a lot of differences. And Shayna eventually married and moved to New York, a different guy, ironically, strange enough. And they liked me. Like, they liked me. I fit in going to the shows. I had dyed my hair different colors then. My hair was black. Sometimes I would dye it like brown and like it was half bleached blonde and a ponytail like Wendy Williams, where it was trimmed along the sides like bangs, and like the Plasmatic singer, Wendy Williams. And I would dye it different colors then, and they liked me, my voice, my style, going to shows. It was just a fit. And I wasn't even trying to fit. I just already was. I was already getting into those interests. I remember he would talk to me on MySpace that, were you ever in a band, like an all-girl band? Were you ever... He wanted to know these things and was curious about me, and that's how we got to know each other, and he lived close by. And he found me on MySpace, saw me and eyeballed me because his best friend was dating, and he was like, I need a girl around to kind of make it more balanced out, is what happened. Eventually, I could see she was not a good mom. She didn't really know what she was doing. She was too in a rush to grow up. But she reminded me of Robin Wright from Princess Bride. Like, that movie, Princess Bride. And she got to see Jenny's character from Forrest Gump. And she was all in a rush to grow up, and we were really young. She was actually 18, I was 19. This was my first guy I was dating here, and there was a whole lot to, at the same time. We'd go out to Chris's room and drink Jack Daniels, and back then he didn't care about if you pissed on yourself in the bathroom. And they were feeding you ham, trying to sober you up. They would always think that, like, there was ghosts moving around the place, because usually when his parents would fight or something would go on, like emotional things would go on, things would move around, like the forks, the knives would move around the kitchen, and only when there was emotions, things would move around. And a lot of things they thought was ghosts. To me, it was like a spirit I could feel, like, of depression and wrath, moving things around then, but they didn't really know and understand all that. They're young, drunk, and there's a lot of ignorance in that area. I knew it, and a lot of, dirt ideas going around about spirits and all that. And I noticed as a Scorpio, him as a Scorpio visit Aries, there was a passion there. They tend to get emotional and like over the top emotional and real assertive and real controlling, and that was a part of what divided us off, because it was just too much. I mean, there was a control button always there, and his friends all getting involved with things that had nothing to do with them really, and I didn't like them. Like, do you want your, like, friend's best friend and girlfriend involving and pushing you to be with you? Like, be with him. Like, that is, like, I don't like that. Like, you put yourself in my shoes and see, would you like that? Including, I never had a boyfriend before. And this girl, they used to call her Shindig for giving head to guys at parties. And she had a bad reputation. He didn't want to really go with her. He wanted Jessica. I wanted Jessica. Her reputation was rotten. And eventually she married and moved on. And Chris probably did marry, but I don't know. I don't know the whole story if he did. But I don't know Spanish. Johnny's mom only spoke Spanish. And I'm, Italian background. Columbus... Yeah, I know Columbus. It's a bad thing, with the Native American. Yeah, I know. I love, though, pastrami and salami. And a lot of, Hispanics are mixed with the Native American blood. And I know the white man took over and all of that. But I felt like it would be better that if for his mom to, because, his dad's dead, that, he gets to know a girl who knows Spanish, and he's actually very smart. He dropped out of college around this time. He even dated a friend of mine when they were in college, and he dropped out, and he was working like full time and trying to pay rent for his mom because his mom didn't really have good money, and his brother was a bum, so like he had to really work on it. And my sister had just married an Australian and moved away, far away. She moved very far away to Sydney, Australia, Blacktown, and this guy that dated Jessica lived at the beach remind me kind of him. But I was thinking, nah, it's not gonna work out. They're too different, and like way too different. Like this like wimpy Australian guy, and she's like this Mexican Hispanic, beautiful, more rough girl, and I could see like more of like a metalhead guy going with her, like a tough guy like that with long hair. That's more her match. And this guy, though, as much as I like heavy metal music, it just was not right for us. Like, it was just not a fit. You know, I knew and saw it as a young 19-year-old. This is my first guy I'm dating. No, it's not going to work out. It's not going to go that path, like getting married. Eventually, he married another girl. And now it's Father's Day time, and you know, it was unfortunate that his dad had died and things. He had to move away, move out into a junky house. It sucks, but that's what happened, you know. And people move from India, and their religions change to become a Christian. India is different culture, you know, Hinduism and all that, so it's different. And I could hear the motorcycle, but yeah, she liked this yogurt. Like in India, they drink the probiotics, you know, the probiotic yogurt, and this is actually from Canada. Cashew base water, cashew, mango puree, but she's interested in that because in India they drink a lot of yogurt, and they believe in Shiva, and like Shiva's the main deity there of all their they have many gods, and there's a lot of spiritual activity that goes on at night there, and it smells, the sewer system's different there, it has a different scent in India's street, depending where you are, but because of the sewer system. I were talking, and there's different Indian stars. They have different jewelry. I have actually jewelry from India. This ring is moonstone from India, and it was carved with a face. It's a sun. This was made in India. It's a moonstone, and I always liked Indian culture. I love their clothes, their music, have a very beautiful culture, but a lot of them move here to become doctors and move away because there's some bad stuff that go on there. There's a lot of pimping and prostitution and the caste system. A lot of the pimps give them like hormone treatment to make them look healthy, and it's real dangerous. Like these pimping and prostitutes, and they give them like cow hormones, and like really bad stuff goes on there in the darker cities of the caste system where they are the lowest of caste, and their parents make them go off and prostitute because it's the way to make money, and they're stuck doing that for her entire lives. The prostitutes actually go to special deities and gods for protection, and will want good luck and protection from their deities and their different gods, and it's a very pagan culture. But yeah, it's not like that here, but this is why a lot of them come here to move to go to college and get away if they are from an area where there's dark and dangerous stuff like that going on. It's different. The discernment would be so heightened, you'd wake up scared to death walking outside on the patio, like, ugh, like, whoa, I'm out of here, like, this is scary. And they go out, and there's the jungles, and there's the rivers, and that's nice, going to a river too. But I like river rafting, but it's dangerous. It's different in India, very dangerous. If you don't know what you're doing and you don't know the language, it could be bad for a white person like me. You have to really be careful.